Pickle, let's go to the hotline, and let's go way west to a different time zone, to the Sun City, checking on the 915 with the head coach of the 4-0 El Paso El Dorado Aztecs. We're joined by Coach Frank Martinez. Coach, how are you? I'm doing well. Thank you for having me. How are things in the Sun City?
Yeah, they're good right now. We have some good crisp weather right now, and it's always good to be 4-0, so we're doing well so far.
It is always good to be 4-0. You guys are 4-0 for the first time since 2014 there at El Dorado.
Yes, sir.
And I guess my first question would be, coming into the season, knowing the non-district slate that you guys had lined up, how much of a surprise is 4-0 to you? Because where I sit here, a couple hundred miles away, I'm looking at this and saying, oh, wow, El Paso El Dorado doing better than I thought.
Yes, sir. No, yeah, definitely. We had a rough year last year. We had a bunch of injuries. The big one, Ryan Estrada. But, a lot of the guys, we lost our quarterback for a couple of games, a few linemen. We're on our third running back, middle of the season. So, our big emphasis was getting these guys healthy and, also having these guys in other positions step up, when their number was called. And, so far, that's kind of been the case. Ryan had a great game, this past week, but, something to highlight was, our quarterback got a starting quarterback, got a slight strain, in his hamstring. And our backup quarterback came in for the remainder of the second quarter and the entire second half. And he did phenomenal, along with, some all linemen that, stepped up big. So that was a big emphasis for us coming into the year was, that whole next man up mantra. And the kids really, went all in for it. And, it's paying dividends now.
I'm curious to know a little bit about your kind of scheduling philosophy is maybe the best way to
yes,
put it.
Sir.
Because you guys, they're in 5A Division I. We'll talk about your district here in a moment, which is its own thing. But you guys punched up each of the last couple of weeks, including Montwood and then a really good Eastwood team this past week, two 6A
yes,
programs. Can you take us into kind of the strategy behind signing up to play some heavyweights in your non-district?
Yeah, no, our goal was, to go deep into the playoffs. With our realignment, we have a unique situation where we're playing, each team twice in our district, and, we're going to be in the playoffs, but, we didn't want to just, go and visit. We want to have success. So we knew we had to build our preseason schedule, to kind of match that and get us prepared for postseason play and, even district play. And so you mentioned Mountwood and Eastwood, two really good 6A programs perennially. And, also Andrus and, Austin High School, very well coached, ton of athletes. They always have, good years, and, they'll be some of the top two, some of the top schools, in their respective districts. So we wanted to make sure that our guys, played those, different teams and different philosophies that each of those teams bring to prepare us for our district play and then postseason play.
Talking with Frank Martinez, head coach of the El Paso El Dorado Aztecs here on Texas Football Today. Get involved in the conversation hashtag TF Today. All right, Coach, I do want to go back to last year. Obviously, a tough year for you guys.
Yes, sir.
But obviously things are. I think you've been able to keep the culture together a little bit. I think there's other programs what would have the type of season you guys had last year and let things fall apart. What was your message to your guys throughout the course of the offseason that maybe set them up for this start?
Yeah, we had end-of-year evaluations with coaches and players, and, we're family. So we want to make sure that, we left everything on the table and, we corrected the things that need to be corrected. And the two most important things were competition and chemistry. So, the competition part, we, had different drills and different things we did throughout the year, every single day to compete. And we did a lot of, camaraderie things outside of your normal football practice and locker room that really helped, everybody kind of gel together, players and coaches alike. So, those were our two emphasis, and those were things we hit on, often throughout the off season, and we're continuing to do so, continuing those things now as well.
We've probably talked around it long enough. Let's talk about the kind of the straw that stirs the drink. Ryan Estrada, your outstanding running back, another huge game.
Yes, sir.
More than 300 yards in your big win over El Paso Eastwood last week. He's got 9
yes,
offers. The tape is remarkable. He's a lot of fun to watch. You're the guy who could see him though in the locker room and every day in practice. What is it about Ryan Estrada that really makes him special?
The thing that you don't really see, on tape is, as much as his intelligence. he's a very intelligent football guy. He understands the game. He lives it. He loves it. And so it's unique to, have that, maturity level as far as him understanding the schemes, and not just in the run game. He understands where his linemen are going to be, and, everything, as far as where his holes are going to be created, and, where to break off, and things of that nature. But, even in the pass game, understanding his assignment of who to block, when to slip out, etc. That's where, on top of his, God-given athletic ability, or he really, stands out and separates himself, I think, is his intel with the game of football.
And finally, Coach, I do want to make sure I ask you about the strange setup you guys have out there as you guys now start district play. District 1 to 5A Division 1. You are in a 4-team district.
Yes, sir.
It was either that or, drive about 1,200 miles every year.
Yes, sir.
So you guys have opted to play the double round robin, home and away, for every district team. You guys start off with Bel Air this week. I am curious how you approach such a unique situation where you're going to see the Highlanders this week, knowing full well that a couple weeks from now you're going to see them again. Yes,
sir. Yeah, no, like you said, unique is the key word in that. It's something that none of my staff has gone through, a lot of the staffs, so we did call around and, talk to different coaches around the state that had that experience, and, just kind of picking their brains on different things. And, the number one thing is, do what you do, believe in, what you guys do. You don't have to come up with anything tricky, because then you might outplay yourself. So sticking to our fundamentals and, sticking to what we know, adding wrinkles here and there, not just the first time, but also the second time. But, the biggest thing is sticking to, what we feel is true to our system. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be, to that point where that second round is heightened that much more. Everybody's playing, and, like I told our kids, we're going to have to prove ourselves every week. No one's going to get lucky in this district. We have that kind of, second chance for whomever is on the, bad end the first time. So we got to make sure that we do our job to take care of business each week.
He's Frank Martinez. He's the head coach of the 4-0 El Paso El Dorado Aztecs. Coach, we sure appreciate your time. Congratulations again on the great start, and best of luck this week against Bel Air.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you guys having me. Have a good day.
Absolutely. You as well. There he goes, Frank Martinez, head coach of the Aztecs of El Paso El Dorado.